Do you remember the World Championship in football in 2014? The one where La Mannschaft, how they call the German team, made it to championship? The championship where the German team won 7-1 in the match against Brazil? Amazing, wasn't it? It was a real miracle. How did they do that? What is the secret of success of the German team? From my personal opinion, if you look at it, they did two things perfectly right. The one is they defined how they wanted to play in each match. And the other one is they trained it. They exactly trained how to perform this system they had defined, the strategy they had defined per match. And in sales, it's more or less the same. If you want to have a high-performing team in sales, it's not about hiring the stars. It's about defining a system, the way you sell, and then execute it flawlessly. And that's not so easy. Because if you want to execute it flawlessly, you need to train it every single day. And I know for some salespeople it's not so easy. But always remember, athletes, the top people in a certain sport, do train every single day. In the early 90s, I had the opportunity to fly to Finland for a project which was called In Search of Excellence. Actually, it was for a German company that wanted to understand why their Finnish subsidiary was doing so extremely well. It was a time of crisis. It was a time where the unemployment rate was higher than 25%. Nevertheless, they grew like hell and they're very profitable. So what did they do? I give you an example. They wanted to sell high margin, high value products. And screws is a good example. You might wonder why screws are a high value product, but I can tell you they were able to sell screws for triple the price than normal screws. Why? They sold self-drilling screws, so you did not need to drill actually a hole before, and you saved, as a craftsman, tons of time and therefore lots of money in process costs. And they trained it. They even gave seminars to craftsmen to explain the story. They trained their sales guys doing it, and they fared so extremely well. So imagine you had a sales system which is superior to your competitors, which is much better, which incorporates all the learnings you do every single day in interacting with customers. You would have more customers, you would have a higher share of wallet within your customers, and you would grow much stronger than competition. So if you want to achieve that, you need A, define the system, and B, make sure that it is trained every single day. And how do you do that? The key persons in your organizations are the frontline sales managers. These guys, they have the responsibility to make your team better every single day. If you put the two things in place like the German team did in 2014, I'm quite sure that you will win against competition.